Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. In this video, we're going to be doing the last half of the reference guide for the Empath's Survival Guide by Judith Orloff, MD. In the previous video, I did do the first 10. The reference guide is basically just all of the tips, strategies, and meditations put into one place so that you don't have to go through each chapter to find what you're looking for. In the description for my previous video and this one, I will put timestamps so that if you're looking for something specific, you can find it. We left off in the last video doing the first 10. So in this video, we're going to go from 11 to 24, which will be the completion of all of them. And I will say the first, I think 6 or 7 of the last part of this are talking about specific type of narcissists and energy vampires. So that's what's going to be the first part of the video. I think it's like number 11 through 16 or 17. Okay. So the first one we're going to start with is number 11. Protect yourself from narcissists. Narcissists, try that, saying that 10 times, act as if the world revolves around them. They have a grandiose sense of importance and entitlement and require endless praise. They can also be extremely intuitive, but they use their intuition to manipulate and achieve their selfish goals. Use the following strategies to protect yourself from them. Lower your expectations of their emotional capabilities. Don't let yourself be manipulated. Don't expect them to respect your sensitivities because they are extremely cold people. Don't fall in love with a narcissist. Run in the opposite direction, no matter how attracted you feel. Try to avoid working with a narcissistic boss. If you can't leave, don't let your self-esteem depend on your boss's reactions. And I will say, don't fall in love with a narcissist. Easier said than done because we are drawn to them. And the other, try avoiding working with a narcissistic boss. Don't let your self-esteem depend on your boss's reaction. I think that should go for anything. You should never let your self-esteem depend on anyone's reaction. That's why it's called self-esteem, self-love, self-worth. It's a matter of how you feel about yourself, not letting other people decide how you should feel. And that is something that takes a lot of work and effort, but I promise you, if you work on those things for your own self, nothing will bring you more happiness. No one else's love, no one else's acceptance except your own. True blue joy and happiness and awareness of who you are. The only way to get through to a narcissist is to stroke their ego. Frame your requests in terms of how they can benefit from them. For instance, if you want to take a few days off to attend a work-related conference, say something like, "This will help me make your business more successful," rather than, "I could use a break from the office." To successfully communicate and get the results you desire, show how your request will be to the narcissist's advantage. Another thing you can do is make it seem like it was their idea. I've, in dealing with narcissists, realized that's something else that works. To end a relationship with a narcissist or anyone with whom you want a complete break, go cold turkey. Stop all contact and never look back. In addition, you can use the following cord-cutting visualization and a shamanic technique for honorable closure. Practice a cord-cutting visualization. In a calm state, picture cords of light connecting both of you. Inwardly say thank you for what you've learned from the relationship, even if the lessons were hard. Then firmly assert, it's time to completely break our bonds. Next, visualize taking a pair of scissors and cutting each bond completely so that you're free of any energetic ties. This visualization will help you release the relationship and also remove lingering energy that you feel from the person. Have honorable closure. This shamanic technique lets you release a relationship, particularly if you keep thinking about the person or you sense that they're thinking about you. Go out into nature and find a large stick. Look at the stick and declare, "This relationship is over." Then break the stick in half, leave the pieces on the ground, walk away, and never look back. This finalizes the ceremony of closure. Number 12, protect yourself from rageaholics. Rageaholics deal with conflict by accusing, attacking, and controlling, and often yell to make a point. They usually behave most poorly around their loved ones. Use the following strategies to protect yourself from them. Let the rageaholic know that you hear them. Then suggest that you work the issue out respectfully when they can calm down. Say something like, I want to help you, but it's hard for me to listen when you're in this state. Refuse to engage with their anger. Set a no yelling rule. It's just not allowed around you. There are other ways to resolve conflicts without yelling. You might have to walk away with that one because, that also depends on the other person's behavior, which you absolutely cannot control. Stay calm. Do not yell back when triggered. Reacting impulsively will just drain you and aggravate the situation. If the person won't stop yelling, leave the room or ask the person to leave. I jumped the gun, so there you go. Pause when you're agitated. Take a time out to quiet the fight or flight response. Count to 10 or take some time alone if necessary. Wait until you're calm to respond to someone's anger. Otherwise, the person may dump more of it on you. Practice restraint of speech, which includes texting, email, and the phone. Then you'll be in charge of your emotions when you choose to address the person. Number 13, protect yourself from victims. People with a victim mentality drain empaths with their "the world is against me" attitude. They don't take responsibility for the difficulties in their lives. Empaths often fall into the compassionate caretaker role with people who portray themselves as victims, trying to help them solve their problems. Use the following suggestions to assert boundaries with these people. Do not become codependent and fall into the trap of becoming their caretaker or therapist. Set compassionate and clear boundaries. People hear us better when we're not being snippy. Use the 3-minute phone call. This entails listening briefly and then telling your friend or family member, I support you, but I can only listen for a few minutes if you keep rehashing the same issue. Perhaps you'd like to find a therapist to help you. Say no with a smile. With a coworker, smile and say something like, I'll hold positive thoughts for the best possible outcome. Thank you for understanding that I must get back to work. With friends and family, briefly empathize with their problem and then say no by pleasantly changing the subject. Do not encourage their complaining. Set limits with body language. This is a good time to cross your arms and break eye contact to send the message that you're busy and not going to indulge them. Number 14, protect yourself from drama queens and kings. Drama queens and kings drain sensitive people by overloading us with too much information and stimulation. They are energized when we react to their drama, but if we remain calm, they don't get rewarded. Be consistent. Then they will lose interest and go on to the next person. Here are a few specific guidelines. Don't ask these people how they're doing. You don't want to know. If a drama queen or king does start up, breathe deeply and stay calm. Do not get caught in their story. Set kind but firm limits. For example, to a friend who keeps canceling plans with you because of one drama after another, you can say something like, I'm sorry for all your mishaps, but let's not reschedule until things settle down for you and you can show up. This way you will be communicating clearly and you won't be reinforcing their behavior. Number 15, protect yourself from control freaks and critics. Control freaks and critics feel qualified to offer their unsolicited opinion and proceed to tell you, whether or not you want to hear their advice, either way. Ongoing, unwelcome advice like this is draining for empaths. Use the following suggestions to protect yourself from this kind of dynamic. Be assertive. Don't tell these types what to do. This will only make them defensive. Tell them something like, thanks for your advice, but I want to think about how to approach this situation for myself. Politely ask the person to stop criticizing you. Be firm but not emotional, and don't play the victim. Stay aware. If you notice that you feel inadequate around this person, identify the self-esteem issues that have been triggered and work on healing them. The more secure you feel, the less these vampires can hurt you. Number 16, protect yourself from non-stop talkers. Non-stop talkers can drain the life force out of others, especially empaths. We are incredible listeners and often make the mistake of tolerating non-stop talkers for far too long. Then we become exhausted. Use the following strategies to protect yourself. Non-stop talkers don't respond to nonverbal cues. These include looking impatient or restless. You must interrupt them, as hard as this may be to do. Although you may feel like saying, "Be quiet because you're driving me crazy," that will only make the talker defensive or angry. Instead, smile and nicely excuse yourself. You might say, "Please pardon me for interrupting, but I need to talk to someone else at the party," or "I have an appointment I must keep." A socially acceptable reason to leave that I often use is, "I have to go to the bathroom." Express yourself in a neutral and non-blaming tone. For example, you can say, "I'd like to add to the discussion too. It would be great if you would let me contribute." If you communicate without irritation, you are more likely to be heard. Use humor. For example, with people you know well, you can jokingly say, "The clock is ticking," as one good friend does with me when I get long-winded. Number 17, protect yourself from passive-aggressive people. Passive-aggressive people express their anger with a smile instead of yelling. They sugarcoat hostility and send confusing messages, but empaths can intuitively sense the anger beneath the pleasant facade. Here are some strategies to protect yourself from this behavior. Trust yourself. Don't question your response to them because their anger is hidden. Trust your intuition. Recognize the pattern and address the behavior. Focus on one issue at a time so that the person doesn't feel attacked. For instance, if you have a friend that keeps saying yes when you ask for help, but doesn't follow through, you can say in a neutral tone, "Please don't make a commitment if you can't follow through." Then notice how the person responds. They might say, "I apologize, I have to be more focused." Then see if their behavior changes. If it doesn't, you can raise the issue with them again, or simply accept that they're not dependable and stop making any further requests. If you can't get a direct answer from the person, ask them to clarify their position. It's important to address the behavior and find a solution. Being specific with someone who is passive-aggressive will make them take a stand. Number 18, how to cure an emotional hangover. Despite your best efforts, it's not uncommon to experience an emotional hangover, an energetic residue left over from interactions with energy vampires. Toxic emotions can linger long afterward, making you feel exhausted or ill or beset with brain fog. You may need time to recuperate. Try the following suggestions for your emotional hangover. Practice the shower meditation. While you're standing under the stream of water in your shower, say this affirmation: "Let this water wash all the negative energy from my body, mind, and spirit." Feel the shower cleansing you, making you clean, fresh, positive, and rejuvenated. Use gemstones. Carry a crystal to help ground you and ward off an emotional hangover. Try black tourmaline, amethyst, or black obsidian. Shamans say that if you carry or wear black, you will be more protected. Smudge your space. In Native American culture, burning medicinal and aromatic plants clears negative or stagnant energy from a location. This technique is called smudging. I love to burn sweetgrass. Its beautiful smell wafting through the air feels nurturing to my feminine energy. Sage is another popular and effective choice. I also like to pick cypress, eucalyptus, and juniper sprigs to burn. Experiment with the plant scents that you like. Use negative ion generators or salt lamps. These devices produce negative ions which clear the air of dust, mold spores, pollen, odors, cigarette smoke, bacteria, and viruses. They are also believed to remove negative energy from a space. The stream of moving water in the shower also produces negative ions. Light a white candle. This sets a meditative mood while also removing unpleasant energy from the environment. White contains all colors of the spectrum and creates a feeling of comfort and calm. Spray rose water or use other scents from aromatherapy. The delicate scent of rose water is lovely. I find it effective in removing an emotional hangover. A nice way to benefit from the scent of an essential oil is to use an aromatherapy diffuser, which spreads the scent throughout the air. Try lavender, spearmint, juniper, sage, frankincense, or myrrh, and experience the sublime scent purifying your energy and the room. Avoid synthetic oils because they contain toxic ingredients. I also think that some of the actual aromatherapy oils, even if they're not synthetic, can be harmful to children and animals, so you want to make sure of that before you do any kind of burning. Get out in nature. Hug a tree. Connect to the earth with your bare feet on the ground. Rejoice in the flowers. Hold a rock in your hand. Breathe in fresh air to cure an emotional hangover. The purity of nature can restore your clarity and uplift your mood. Create a sacred space for meditation. Place candles, incense, flowers, or a statue of a holy figure, such as Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion, on a table in a quiet corner. Meditating in a sacred space builds positive energy and is a balm for an emotional hangover. Seek emotional support. If you feel negativity lingering from a toxic interaction, say from a narcissistic boss or a critical spouse, you may need some extra help to remove it. Talking out the situation with a friend or a therapist will allow you to voice and dispel the remaining energy. Now, number 19, a meditation for mothers, feeling the goddess within. I recommend that mothers, including pregnant mothers, use the following meditation daily to reap the serene spiritual, emotional, and physical benefits of endorphins. This meditation also creates a protective bubble of positive energy. Take 5 minutes to breathe slowly and deeply. As you do so, put your hand on your heart and flood yourself with love and appreciation for who you are as a mother. Experience the warmth, connection, blessing, and gratitude of being a parent. Mothers are goddesses of creation. Maternal nurturing is an act of deep love. Feel the power of the mother goddess within you. She is the part of you that is connected to the earth and all the natural cycles in a profound and mystical way. In ancient times, the mother goddess was worshipped by many cultures. Feel her primal power within you, and hail her presence in your being. Number 20, help your children turn the dial down on stress. Teach your empath child the following visualization to break the cycle of stress when they're feeling too much coming at them. They can use it anywhere, at home, at school, and with their friends. This technique is a part of the basic toolkit for all empathic children. Here's what you say to your child. In your imagination, picture a big dial on a table in front of you. It has numbers on it, and they go from 10 on the left side to 0 on the right side. Currently, this dial is set to 10. See yourself slowly turning the setting on the dial down, starting with 10. Turn the dial clockwise to the right as the numbers get smaller and smaller until you reach 0. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As you turn the dial this way, feel yourself getting more and more relaxed. You are lowering your stress and discomfort. Sorry, my dog's barking, obviously. When you reach 0, you will feel calm and happy. If your child is too young to imagine the dial, you can draw a picture of it and have them point to their stress level. Then slowly count down with them until you reach 0. Number 21, set energetic boundaries at work. Empaths often suffer at work because they absorb the stress in their surroundings. The workplace can be noisy and overstimulating. The following suggestions will help you protect your energy in an emotionally demanding or crowded environment. They will create a cocoon of protection you can rely on. If you are in an open space or chaotic office, surround the outer edges of your desk with plants or photos of family or pets to create a psychological barrier. Sacred objects such as a statue of Kuan Yin, St. Francis, or the Buddha, as well as sacred beads or crystals, can set an energetic boundary. Pause. Take bathroom breaks for relief or walk outside in the fresh air. Noise-canceling earbuds or headphones are useful for muffling conversations and unwelcome sounds. Visualize. Picture a golden egg of light surrounding your workstation to repel negativity. You are always safe and protected within the golden egg. Number 22, how therapists can stop taking on patients' emotions. How do empaths pursue their calling as healers and therapists without taking on a patient's symptoms? The following suggestions will help you stay centered and clear. All healthcare professionals can benefit from adopting them to their work too. Adjust your attitude. Don't become a martyr. Your role is to be a guide for your patients, not to take on their pain or remove it. When you're clear about this, you'll enjoy your work more and excel at it. Identify 3 obvious differences between you and your patient. A good intellectual way to distance yourself from a patient's emotions and pain after a session is to focus on 3 clear differences between you. For example, I'm a woman and he's a man. She's depressed, I'm not. I'm a vegan and he eats meat. This lets you appreciate what's you and what's the patient, a boundary that helps prevent you from absorbing unwanted energy. Don't try to fix others. People heal themselves. You can support your patient's healing, but they must make the necessary changes to free themselves from suffering. Watch out for codependency. Be careful not to get hooked into feeling responsible for someone's progress. People change on their own timeline, not yours. Of course, your heart will go out to patients who are emotionally stuck or backsliding. Guide them as much as possible, but you are not responsible for their growth or their ability to overcome obstacles. Work on your own issues. We tend to absorb energy that is related to issues we haven't resolved in ourselves. Compassionately notice when your patients push your own emotional buttons. Ask yourself, is this patient mirroring issues in me that I need healing? Identify your triggers. Depression, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, anxious about health, intimacy. Focus on healing those triggers and issues in yourself. Then you won't be as susceptible to absorbing these from others. Peer-oriented supervision groups where you can present cases and discuss what emotionally triggers you are helpful, as is working with your own therapist. Number 23, we're going to go over the Jaguar protection meditation. I recommend the following meditation to call on the power of the Jaguar to protect you. I use it when I need extra protection, especially if too much negativity is coming at me too fast. The Jaguar is a fierce and patient guardian that can keep toxic energy and people away. Find a quiet environment where you can't be interrupted. Sit in a comfortable position and take a few deep breaths to center yourself and let go of stress. In this calm state, from deep within your heart, call on the spirit of the Jaguar to protect you. Feel its presence enter. Then visualize this gorgeous, powerful creature patrolling your energy field, encircling it, protecting you, and keeping intruders and any negative forces that want to get through out. Picture what the Jaguar looks like. Its beautiful, fierce, and loving eyes. Its sleek body, the graceful and purposeful way it moves. Feel secure in the circle of its protection. As you close this meditation, give inner thanks to the Jaguar. Know that you can call on it whenever there is a need. Feel the power of that. Then slowly and gently open your eyes. Orient yourself back to current time and space. Completely return to your own body and be alert, aware, and present in your environment. And number 24, this is the last tip or tips. Tips to protect yourself from intuitive overload. The wonder of being an intuitive empath is that you're open to exploring realms beyond the linear one. The challenge, though, is not to get overwhelmed by too much information. By grounding, centering, and staying humble about your gifts, you will better be able to use them to everyone's benefit. Or you will be better able. Dialogue with your inner voice. You can always ask your inner voice to slow down so that you can take a break or find a rhythm that's more comfortable. Intuition doesn't just happen to us. You can cultivate an active and conscious connection with it. Develop a witness state. When you tune in, try to stay neutral. In many situations, the role of an empath is simply to bear witness, a sacred duty that the ancient prophets understood. You might wonder, why am I sensing death, illness, or other painful circumstances at all? What good is it if I can't prevent them? Keep in mind that the act of seeing in itself bears light. Sometimes it's not your job to intervene, nor is it possible. In those situations, you can always hold the light for people. This is a holy act that supports others in miraculous ways. You are not responsible for the karma of others. Keep reminding yourself that everyone deserves the dignity of walking their own path. This will help you avoid feeling inappropriately responsible for what you intuitively sense. And visualize light. Picture divine white light coming through the crown of your head as darkness flows out of the bottom of your feet. This process reduces overwhelm by circulating positive energy into your body and releasing toxic energy. Okay, so we have completed The Empath Survival Guide by Judith Orloff, MD. I hope that that you enjoyed it, whether you watched all the videos or just some of the videos, as far as what resonates with you. And I look forward to coming back with another video with the same kind of content, the same kind of ideas and information. So if you are so inclined, please like, please comment, please subscribe. And I will be back again with a new book that we can start reading together. Thank you so much for joining me for my videos. And until next time, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Take care.